A Long Island homeowner may be stuck paying for the damage from a stolen car that crashed into his house yesterday.
Underage teenagers were behind the wheel. Carolyn Gussoff has video of the aftermath from Mastic Beach.
I think I've become an old man because I was under this crazy notion that was probably from not too long ago that when you are doing something illegal and then you destroy somebody else's property, the cost to repair said property should be on you. In fact, you can actually go to court and as a portion of your sentence be required to pay off the damage of said property. And in this particular case, which of course involves a teen, involves youth, involves an undescribed, undefined youthful offender that is blurred to hell in this surveillance video. Again, they're blurring the full body so you can't know what this person actually looks like. At least their parents have to pay for it, or in this particular case, very likely their parent has to pay for it. But apparently that's not a thing anymore. Apparently that is not something that the state of New York wants to enforce, because this teen, this youth, this person who was quite literally blurred more than I've ever seen anybody blurred on a video that committed a crime in my entire life, is apparently not obligated to pay back the homeowner. He's got to come out of pocket in order to do so, and that's just the New York way. And this is what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan.
Welcome back. I'm Alice Gaynor.
Now look, I know this doesn't have anything to do with the topic at hand. I know some of you might be thinking that this is a distraction, but do you not find it unusual that the local newscasters for this particular agency have the names Dick and Gaynor, both of them, like, separated, as if I'm not supposed to notice that? Am I the only one who sees what they're trying to communicate to me? Am I the only one who notices the degradation of our society from the all-seeing eye over at CBS over there? No, it is just me? Okay, let's move on to the actual story.
Tense moments Sunday afternoon as a stolen car crashed into a Mastic Beach home. The driver ran. Cops gave chase. Suffolk police first spotted the stolen Kia at this intersection 2 miles away, but it fled with cops right behind when the car crashed into Marvin Hernandez's property.
So let's talk about what we're not being told and not being shown throughout the course of this local news segment. So first and foremost, the main aspect of the story is obviously the homeowner who had to suffer the consequences of this blatant criminality, but of course it is not being told to the audience that this thief, this youth, this teenager that CBS is really focused on blurring the hell out of, that this guy is likely a member of the Kia Boys. Again, we have a stolen Kia, high-speed chase, underage youthful offender of indescribable description. This is obviously a member of the Kia Boys. This is somebody who has likely done this multiple different times, and due to laws like raise the age and of course New York State bail reform, he has probably gotten break after break after break. And we're also not going to talk about the fact that this guy came barreling onto this property with such speed and such force that you can actually see the home shaking from the video camera that is mounted on said home.
When a speeding car blew through the fence and hit the side of his home.
So this kid could have easily killed somebody. This teen that we can't ever show even what he's wearing in this particular news segment is a serious ongoing threat to society. And by the way, he immediately took off running because he doesn't accept accountability for his actions. So yeah, this is a very dangerous situation. It is a part of a broader trend, and likely this teen will get a break because of bail reform and because of raise the age. And if he's on probation or parole, less is more will definitely aid and abet him in not having those violated. So this kid is an absolute product of the terrible laws of New York State. And again, somebody could have died as a consequence of it, including him. Because remember, all these reforms are meant to protect the youth, the person who would be swept up by the evil white racist system. And is it better that they die in a car accident than actually suffer the consequences of their own behavior? I think not.
It's scary for me because it's my house, it's my family. The house moved. So I go outside because I'm scared because my son Every day he plays soccer in the backyard.
The sports supply store owner says his 9-year-old son was thankfully in the backyard pool at the time, away from the impact.
So we end up hearing from Marvin Hernandez, who says that he immediately ran out his house, which is something that we could see on the video, because he was worried that his 9-year-old son could have been out playing in front of his home. And by the way, it is notable that this is a very nice home. This guy has multiple cars on his property. He has a pool, and this is because Hernandez is a successful business owner. And obviously you guys can tell this by just hearing his voice or looking at his face. This man is of Latino origin, and a lot of people wonder why Latinos are leaving the Democratic Party in droves. They're voting for more tough on crime candidates because oftentimes, although not specifically in these circumstances where the Latino family is this well off, these are the people who are negatively impacted the most, other than black people living in black communities, by the Democrats' desire to overlook black crime. And again, this man could have easily lost his son in this circumstance, and now he is likely stuck with the bill. And regardless of the fact that this man is successful and he might be able to afford it without too much of an issue, that is not an acceptable outcome of this particular crime. Why should this teen get a free pass from the criminal justice system and a free pass from liability for the damage? And again, we have to wait for the next time that he steals a car, the next time that he's barreling down the road, and maybe after he does hit a 9-year-old kid, after he does kill someone, we'll finally take it seriously. Maybe then the criminal justice system will look at this teen, look at this urban youth, look at this apparently future astronaut or whatever the hell the left wing thinks of this kid, and say, you know what? It's about time you actually get more than a slap on the wrist. Again, this is madness going on in New York City, and if you want to know why you're losing Latinos, it is this issue. Key issue right here, the Democrats' soft on crime attitude.
Someone in the house grabbed a garden hose to extinguish the fire, helping to save the life of the passenger in the stolen car.
Again, more evidence that the Kia boys are behind this is that there was another boy in the car that this criminal that fled the scene immediately left for dead. So imagine that. You have people who steal a car, people who are probably repeat offenders who have done this time and time again. They come barreling into your home. They smash into the side of your house. You are going to be left with the expense. The police are chasing the other perpetrator, and immediately after you check if your kid is okay, make sure that he wasn't playing soccer right there like he does all the time, you guys grab the hose down the car so that the other youth can make it through this accident. So the person who's trapped in the car, who could be unconscious, doesn't die as a result of his own actions. And honestly, this is the perfect allegory for our society. You have criminals that just muck everything up. They're creating a significant amount of problems for everyone else, for the law-abiding. They're a danger to themselves. They're a danger to others. And guess what? It is always on the law-abiding to bail them out. It's always on the law-abiding to make the save. It's always on the law-abiding to give them a second chance at life, even though they show us each and every day that they don't value their own lives. Again, you're speeding, running from the cops because you wanted to have a fun time in somebody else's Kia. God knows what the person who actually owns that vehicle has to go through. But hey, none of that mattered because you guys were going to have a fun time stealing a car. And that's as far as you thought this thing through right before you went barreling into this house.
The homeowners may be left to pay for the damage.
It's supposed to be the insurance, the car insurance, but the problem is the car. It's not for
stolen.
Yeah, it's stolen.
So I actually have a little bit of good news in this part of the story, because this guy is under the impression that the insurance company is not obligated to pay for the damage because the car is stolen, and it turns out that is not the case. Now, of course, the insurance company may have a limit on what they cover in terms of damages according to their policies. The person who actually owns the vehicle may have only said that they would cover up to $25,000 worth of damages, which I believe is the minimum for property damages in New York State, and they might be just jerking this guy around. But if this is actually true and they don't have insurance that actually covers this, or the car was owned outright and they only have collision but not liability, then this man is going to be on the hook. And rather than it being between the insurance and this man, it should probably be between the criminals, the family of the criminals, the people who are supposed to be taking care of these criminal youths, and this guy as well.
Cops caught the driver who ran Both are 16 years old and therefore not being identified.
Honestly, CBS, shut the hell up. Shut your stupid mouths about them being 16 years old, therefore we're not identifying them. You're going well beyond blurring the faces. You're trying to blur the entire body of this criminal as he's running away from the police because you're like, oh, innocent Beba Angel, don't want to be too racist over here at CBS News, when we all know what's going down. We all know why this policy is being so strictly enforced across all these local news agencies around the country, and we're not buying it. And again, you need to identify these people, name them and shame them. If they're committing car theft after car theft after car theft, nearly killing people during the process of these car thefts, then maybe it's shame on their name, shame on their house, shame on their single mother should be applied in order to actually get this behavior to be corrected. Now, of course, you could also incarcerate them. You could also lock them up. You could also arrest them, charge them seriously, not let them out of jail pre-trial in order for them to suffer the consequences of their own actions. But that's not what's going to happen. State law is on their side, not on the side of the homeowner, not on the side of the law-abiding, on the side of the criminal, the innocent Beba Angel criminal who we can't even publicly shame because CBS doesn't want to go there.
We heard the noise. Oh my God, it's an accident.
Neighbors complain of an uptick in car thefts recently.
It's been a lot. I've been hearing a lot of people. My neighbors said there was a car parked there. They covered it. They stolen car, so he must have kept going back, stealing it and driving it, going back.
Hopefully, they are paid for the consequences.
The injured passenger was taken to the hospital.
So we get a little background from the neighbors that are in and around this area, and they say there's actually an uptick in car thefts in the area. They've seen these problems before, and it's almost as if when you don't target areas that are problematic, when you don't arrest and then show people consequences that are repeat offenders, the problems don't get better, they get significantly worse. Again, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, so I don't know why you're listening to me, but it would seem like to me, the conspiracy theorist, that makes all the sense in the world, but it doesn't make sense to the New York State legislatures, doesn't make sense to the governor, doesn't make sense to the potential future mayor of New York City, Mamdani, who probably wants to give these innocent Beba Angel Aladdins some kind of extra welfare to make sure they stop stealing cars.
The case now heads to youth court. Both 16-year-olds were issued appearance tickets on car theft charges.
Appearance tickets. They were issued appearance tickets. Imagine being the police in the state of New York. You have people who stole a car. They're speeding like crazy. They're repeat offenders. They've done this over and over again. They smashed the car into somebody's house in the same area that their 9-year-old child is very often playing in. Then they lead you on a police chase because they don't want to get caught. You have to chase their ass down, tackle them, put them in cuffs, and then you have to issue them an appearance ticket. You have to say, excuse me, sir, excuse me, youth, we need to give you this little piece of paper and then let you go, not even take you to jail, so that you promise that you'll come back to court. And then they say, oh, well, I don't have a ride to court. Is it okay if I steal another Kia? And they're like, well, I mean, in this state, yes, it is. Just try not to crash it too hard into the court because you might hit one of the youths that have gotten a ticket in order to appear in court for stealing another Kia. Again, absurd, insane, ridiculous. But what do you expect when you have a state legislature that is motivated to protect the criminal above all other things? But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about all this down in the comments below. As per usual, if you like this video, show me by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the Kia boys smashing into a house and getting a ticket for it. Till next time.